How did I write Tulsa Time? Let me see here. It was in September 1978. I was stuck in a blizzard in Tulsa with a band, Don Williams band. I was playing guitar with that band. And we had absolutely nothing to do. We couldn't leave, we couldn't go home, we were homesick, bored. And I was so tired of being in that room that I actually was sitting in the floor looking up at the television, watching Rockford Files. And I started writing Tulsa Time because I was in Tulsa. And it just sort of fell out on the guitar. And I wrote it in 30 minutes, watching Rockford Files. A couple months went by and we were in Nashville opening a show for Eric Clapton. And so after the show, we went back to Eric's hotel room, which is about a block from where we are now. And the three of us sat around playing songs and carrying on. And Don says, play that new song. Like that, maybe slower. So I said, okay. So I played this song I'd written, Living on Tulsa Time. Sitting there, Don Williams is playing rhythm guitar and singing the harmonies. And Eric's sitting here playing slide guitar on the dobro and thinking, this is good, this is good. Eric, at the end of the song, he said, I love that song and I want to record it right away. And then Don pipes in and goes, you can't record it, I'm going to record it. I said, if you're going to argue, I'm not going to let either one of you do it. Which I thought was a really good move on the part of being a songwriter. And they both recorded it. And both had huge success with it. And it was probably the fastest thing that Don Williams ever recorded that I can think of. But I didn't write it fast. I wrote it real slow because to me, everybody in Tulsa is laid back, you know. Everybody in Tulsa, you know, it's like when you walk in a room and you see them, they all go, hey, man, that's Tulsa to me, you know. So I wrote it. It sounds just like this. I'm going to play it for you. This is in open G for the nerds that are playing guitars. Well, now I left Oklahoma, driving in a Pontiac, just about to lose my mind. I was going to California, maybe on to Arizona, where the people all living so fine. My baby said it's crazy, my mama called me lazy, but it's gonna show 'em all this time. Cause you know I ain't no fool and I don't need no more schooling. I was born to just walk the line. Living on Tulsa time. Living on Tulsa time. I'm gonna set my watch back to it, cause you know me, I've been through it, Lord. Living on Tulsa time. I grew up in a little small town called Henderson, North Carolina. Henderson has grown quite a bit over the years. It now has a Cracker Barrel. I grew up with hardly anyone supporting me wanting to be a musician. It's fine for the weekends, but you'll never be able to make a living doing it, that whole thing, except for my grandmother, who said, if it's what you love, then you should go and do it. So I chose not to listen to the rest of my family, because I didn't agree with that. The first song I ever wrote, I was 15, and it was called Becoming a Man is Getting Harder Every Day. Like I knew, you know. Every song has to mean something to me. Even if it's funny, you know, it has to have something to it. And it's a wrestling match sometimes. If there was a right way to do it, I'd do it just like that every time, but there isn't. My life is so hard. Sometimes I want to lay down and die, baby, but you give me reason to try. To me, it's always based on blues, because that's what I gravitate to. It conveys human emotion as well as anything. And it's so simple, chord structure-wise, so stripped down, that there's nowhere to hide. If you can take this art and serve people with it, then that's just a wonderful thing to me, you know. That's why I do what I do. I lost a good friend of mine 2 weeks ago. I am a recovering drug addict. After 20 years clean time, he was my only sponsor. He gave me this guitar here. And I would go hang with him, sit in the room and just breathe. I'd listen to his breathing and I'd breathe with him. And not talk about what, you know. And finally one day, towards the end, I felt that I needed to tell him the good things that were going on, some of the things that I've been through and he knows about, that I'm moving out of that misery into a better place and all these things. And like 8 or 9 or 10 times when I would talk to him, he always responded, he smiled, and in the weakest voice, he would just look at me and he would say, "Life is good. Life is good. Life is good." I have this song that I wrote about being an addict and all this stuff. It's called "I Was a Burden Till the Lord Laid His Hands on Me." And the Blind Boys of Alabama cut it right over there in this room. And I'm here to tell you, when you get a song cut by the Blind Boys of Alabama, it's an amazing feeling. Dan, the guy that sang the lead on it, he said, "Did you write that song?" "Yes, sir." "Mine now." I was a burden. Okay, yes, sir. I was a burden to my mother, unto my father, my sister and brother, yeah. Well, I was on dope, whiskey and wine. I'd given up hope, losing my mind. I was a burden till the Lord laid his hands on me. And I heard him say, "Heal yourself. It's what you should do. Forgive yourself the way I forgive you. Open your eyes, it'll be all right. You can see so much clearer when you're standing in the light." Yeah, 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 yeah. I was a burden till the Lord laid his hands on me. Till the Lord laid his hands on me. the Lord laid his hands on me. Thank you.